Define success on your own terms, achieve it by your own rules, and build a life you're proud to live. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lilian Judy and this is Engineering Life with Lilian Judy. Today I wanted to share my experience getting my first official job. So let me just give this shout out to Nsbe, because Nsbe really is the plug for me. I got my first job at my dream company at the time, at a Nsbe conference. And I know a lot of people are like, okay, so what is Nsbe? Nsbe is the National Society of Black Engineers. And if you haven't heard about it and you're a Black engineer, I definitely encourage you to either find the chapter in your area or find a chapter in your school, because Nsbe is everywhere in America, and it's even international, honestly. So let me backtrack. I was very shy when I was in college, and I had a friend who really she pushed me. She was like, come with me to this meeting. And it was the Nsbe meeting for our school's chapter. And I was really excited. I was like, oh, okay. It felt good to see a lot of Black engineers or Black people in STEM just, gathered in one room. And the meetings were fun. And, fast forward, I ended up getting a position on the board from a program chair to becoming the vice president of the chapter. And I remember my first ever conference. It was I think my first and a half, because my first conference was actually based in Boston where I live. But at that point, I wasn't really into Nsbe, so I didn't really know much about it. But my first main conference, it was in Kansas City. Yo, shout out to everybody that went for that conference. It was amazing. I know Kansas City doesn't sound all exciting and stuff, but listen, every Nsbe conference, we turn the place upside down. Even if it's a dead city, we make it fun, because there's so many networking events, so many parties, so many fun activities, and you just get to meet so many other people. And I think for me, that really helped me get out of my shell. So at the Kansas City Nsbe conference, there's always 2 days of career fairs, which is the biggest part of the Nsbe conference. So I wasn't sure. I think at that point I was looking for an internship or something, or a full-time, I don't remember, either a full-time position or an internship. So I went and I was talking to different people, and I met this lady. I believe I went to one of the booths for one of the companies I was really interested in, and she was like, oh, actually, let's walk over to the Medtronic booth, and I know there's someone who is really interested in meeting you and stuff. So I went there, and when I met her, I was like, hi, my name is Lilian and I'm a plastics engineer. She was so excited. She was like, wait, you're a plastics engineer? Okay, come, give me your resume. She was just very excited to meet me. And so shout out to plastics engineering. It's a very, very niche field, and you will barely find anyone who does this. So guys, if you're confused and you're trying to figure out what to do, you can definitely reach out to me and ask me a few more questions about that. Or you can drop a comment if you want. So I talked to her, she exchanged numbers with me, and we kind of kept in contact at that point. And she told me about how they had a rotational program, and I was like, oh, tell me more about it. So basically she became a contact of mine at that conference, and I did a few interviews with her and stuff. And it was so good that even after the conference, when I was back in school, and I actually started aggressively applying. I emailed her one time, and she was like, oh, so she sent an email to everyone that I guess was hiring at the time, and someone got back to me and was like, oh, you came highly recommended from this person, are you interested? Let's set up a meeting. Listen, networking and connections really go a long way. So if you're considering that, make sure you start networking now. I could always reach out to her and tell her, oh, I saw this job description, this posting, what do you think I can do? And she always used to really help me out. And I remember I emailed her and I was like, listen, I'm going to the next year's conference was in Pittsburgh. So I was like, I'm going to the Pittsburgh conference. And at that point I was ready to graduate. So I was aggressively looking for a job. And she was like, okay, I know this hiring manager who's going there. Why don't you reach out to them when you go? And she told the person and even went ahead and set up an appointment for me with her at the booth. So conference came by, first day of career fair. I went to, the career fair, and I went to the booth, and I was like, oh, hey, this person referred me to talk to you. And so then she was like, oh, you're Lilian. I was like, yeah. And then she was like, okay, let me get you on the schedule. Let's put you in for an interview. I was like, oh, okay. So I think this was the next day, or I think it was actually the same day. Later that afternoon, I went, and then I was told that there's an interview slot for me. I prepared, I went for the interview. It was like a very, very good interview. But that interview was so good. It was like technical questions. They were trying to get to know me. And I just felt so good about the interview, because it felt less of an interview. It felt more like a conversation. So I went ahead and I aced that interview. In my head, I feel like I aced it, guys. So after the interview, I went to my hotel, and like, I think 30 minutes later, I got a phone call. And guys, this is a little snippet of like me actually like real time when I was on the phone, like listening to them. So I was on the phone talking, and they were like, we're so pleased to give you this offer. And they were explaining all the terms, the compensation, the benefits. I was just like in awe. I was like, wait, did I just get like a full-time offer with like everything I've dreamed of at Medtronic, where I wanted to work for the longest time? I was like, wait, is this really happening? And so I say this to just say that just like I was able to interview and get a job within like the span of like 3 hours, based off of me networking at a conference, me even going out of my way to attend a conference, and me placing myself in strategic positions where people were able to connect with me. People were able to speak with me and really help me out. If you're in a position where you're not too sure about like whether you should send that email, whether you should DM this person on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the plug. I can't count how many times I've literally looked up a job or looked up a company. I'm like, okay, it's showing these people work there. I literally just send them a message like, hi, my name is Lilian. I saw this job posting. I see that you work there. I'm trying to, get a job, or like whatever. Like I'm always proactive in that way, and always reach out, and people are surprisingly willing to help. So just always put yourself out there, take that first step, make that first move. And you could also be sitting here one day telling your story about how you watched Lilian's video on how she got her first job. So I hope this video helped you. I hope this video motivated you to, step out of your comfort zone. Networking really, really is so important.